Okay, so for today's science video, we are going to focus on the difference between mammals and reptiles, and we are going to talk about that a little bit. I decided to make this video a bit different to make it fun for you guys to watch, so let's see what we can find out. Alright, these are two bunnies. Now, you can tell me, do you think that they are reptiles or do you think that they are mammals? Answer that to yourself quickly. Yes, they are mammals. Okay, what makes them mammals? Okay, the first thing is, if they were, just a quick hint, if you ever want a garden that looks nice, don't get rabbits because they are eating all of my plants. But anyways, if we had to talk about the birth of these bunnies, do you think that they were born in eggs, or do you think that they were birthed alive, I guess? Yes, they had live births. Okay, they did not come out in eggs. When they were tiny, they came out of their mom. I think they're two brothers because they're both boys, but I'm not sure. So when they were birthed, they came out of their mommy, who carried them in her tummy, and then as soon as they were born, the mommy gave them milk. They drank milk from their mother. Okay, she helped them to grow bigger and bigger and bigger. And normally when mammals are born, they aren't born as white and as fluffy as they are now. So let's talk about the white and fluffiness of these rabbits. That comes to my next point about the characteristics of mammals. What is on their outer layer, or their outer covering, is fur. I don't think I'm going to be able to get close enough to show you, but you guys know what fur looks like. There is fur on their body. That also tells us that they are mammals, because mammals have fur or hair. Alright, these two are herbivores. That means that they only eat plants, or fruit or veggies or things like that. They do not eat meat at all, or insects. I have never seen them eat an insect, and I don't think I ever will. There's another mammal. That's a cat. Okay, so let's look at her outer covering, because I know that I can touch her. So come on, come. Okay, look at her outer covering. This is hair, this is fur that she has on her head, okay, which is what all mammals do. Mammals have fur or hair. Do you remember that with the dolphins and the whales, we even said that they have tiny hairs on their bodies? We just can't see it. These rabbits are wrecking my garden, honestly. Okay, so that is a bit about mammals. Let's think, is there any other characteristic that I missed? You guys are probably shouting, Miss Elizabeth, they are warm-blooded. Good. Okay, so these two are warm-blooded. That's why it's kind of cold outside, but they are still jumping and playing around because they can regulate their own body temperature. Do you remember that that is what warm-blooded means? They are still playing around, they're still eating. I will take them inside in a little while, but for now they can still play outside because they are warm-blooded, so they can regulate their own body temperature. All right. I think that was it about mammals. Not all mammals live on land. As we know, dolphins and whales live in the sea. I'm trying to think, what were the other characteristics? Their outer skin is fur or hair. They are warm-blooded. They give live birth. They feed their babies milk. Okay. And then mammals have a lot of different ways of moving around. Some swim, like dolphins and whales. These hop, if you want to call it that. She crawls or runs. Some of them can fly, like the bat that can fly. So there are, she's eating the thorns. Oh, he's a boy. I don't know. Okay. So rabbits apparently love to wreck gardens. If you didn't know that, now you do. Okay, let's move on to our next part, which is the reptiles. Now, I'm not going to bother them right now, and I'm going to explain to you why not. here are the reptiles. Okay, so let's take a look. This one in front is Tonic. She knows that we're here, so she's not very happy with me. My cat came to investigate with us. Okay, so she's not very happy with me because she wants to sleep. But I want you to take a look at her skin without me bothering her. Look at that on her skin. Do you see those little bumps, those little dots? Those are the scales. So reptiles are covered in scales. Don't worry about the fact that her paw is doing that. It's just because she's a bit stressed that I'm here, but I will leave them alone shortly. So she has scales on her as her outer covering. Now if these two are both girls, so they are both females, so they will not lay eggs. I don't think there is something in birds like they lay. In Afrikaans we say windeiers. I'm not sure what it is in English, but I'm pretty sure they will not be laying eggs. Look at her. She's greeting you. Hi, Tonic. Hello, Mama. Okay, so if they were to get babies, they would be laying eggs. Okay, they would lay eggs because reptiles lay eggs. Their mommies do not feed them milk. Once they have been laid as eggs, normally the mom will, I think with reptiles it's the same, that she will kind of keep them in one location. She'll go lie on top of them to make sure that they are warm, or I think sometimes they bury them under the sand. I'm not sure how it works. I might be lying to you, but maybe that's the challenge. Find out. Here's your challenge, grade 2. Find out reptiles. Once the mommy has laid her eggs, does she lie on them like birds do? Or do they cover them with sand? Or what does the mommy do with the eggs? Does she just abandon them and carry on with her life, and they hatch and they carry on their own? Or how does it work? Maybe you can find that out for me and send me a voice note once you've figured it out. Good. So these two are reptiles. And do you see how my bunnies are outside walking around? My cat is outside here with me, very interested in the video. They are in their room that has walls, it has a roof, it has some cover. And the reason for that, grade 2, is because they are cold-blooded. They cannot control their body temperature, and it is kind of cold outside right now. So these two have come to lie in their bed or in their room so that they can soak up the heat that was here this afternoon when the sun was shining on their house. So they are kind of basking in the sun. This concrete slab, you guys can't feel it now, but it actually has some heat to it because the sun shines on it every afternoon. So that's why they are laying here. Their bellies are on the floor, on the ground, and they are kind of just soaking up the heat that is left from this concrete slab. Okay, so that's the thing about reptiles. Outer covering, scales. Cold-blooded, which means they can't regulate their own body temperature. They are born from eggs. Their moms do not feed them milk. But both of these, Tonic and Jin, and Phoebe, the cat, who is a mammal, and Jelly and Bean, both of those, all of these animals, mammals and reptiles, have backbones. Now, once an animal has a backbone, what do we call it? It has a skeleton and it has a backbone. What do we call those type of animals? We call them vertebrates. Okay, so reptiles and mammals are vertebrates because that means that they have backbones. I'm really hoping that my rabbits can actually eat these plants because they're just eating them as if it's normal. But I'm guessing that in nature, if they can't eat something, then they won't. I don't know. Jelly? Jelly? Hello, Jelly? Okay, so that's my video. I wanted to show you guys the mammals. I wanted to show you guys the reptiles. I wanted you guys to see the difference in person. Not in person, close up and in real life. So, yeah. Say goodbye, Jelly. Say goodbye, Bean. Say bye. Alright, so I'm going to leave you guys with that. I hope you enjoyed the video of my animals, and I hope that they could show you the difference between mammals and reptiles.